Alright, so today I'm going to be going over how to service your first client and some steps that are typically involved in not only onboarding but also the service fulfillment of your first client, as well as a case study of a physical therapy company that I actually helped implement AI into their business as well. So if you would like that, you can skip ahead. But for now, I'm going to be going over some of the first steps that you'll usually take in the service fulfillment. So this process I actually got from a fairly large marketing agency and then tweaked it a little bit to adjust for AI services instead of marketing. So for the first step, you're going to have this discovery phase. This will either be mainly through a call, via email, text messages, however you'd like. This is initially when they reach out to you, or if you're doing outbound, they respond and book a meeting. So there's not going to be much that you can do to prepare for this. Mainly you're just going to want to have a good idea of some general questions to ask and get a better idea of their business and what they're expecting out of you, and what they want to get out of the partnership with you. So from there, you're going to go into sort of a building phase where you can build a diagram. You can use Miro just to build this kind of a board. You've probably seen several of these already, where you can sort of build an outline of what you would think the client would like. This will be more in depth than obviously what they were asking you. So you're going to mention specific features that could be helpful, things like that, to basically build out a fully fledged chatbot or automation, but just in this sort of brainstorming space where you're not actually developing and testing it. You are simply giving them the sort of, hey, this is what I can do for you. These are the options. Then from there, if you're going to over deliver, which is something I definitely recommend if you have the time to do that, you can build out sort of multiple, if two or more than two, of these diagrams, including additional features that the client didn't necessarily ask for, but you think might be a good idea. Oftentimes, this is because businesses just aren't aware of what's possible with AI, and I find that a lot of businesses would actually enjoy these additional features. They just didn't know that it was possible to do things like that. So from here, you can send over the diagram or diagrams, however many you made, and see if the client likes it, if they want to tweak anything, things like that. From there, you can adjust it. And then from here, if you're not doing it for free, I'd recommend getting a payment before building it. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting your time. So you can decide to pay based on the hours, the complexity, the features that you have in it. Really just however you'd like the price. Start out low and then work your way up. I found that most AI services are priced with a upfront initial cost for the development and then a cheaper retainer fee just for the software and the upkeep after that. So if all that all goes well, then you can go ahead and proceed with the building, and you're going to want to build it, obviously test it very thoroughly, as it's obviously a client, and then I would actually send it to the client for them to be able to test it, especially for chatbots. It helps get them excited about what you've built and just lets them catch any mistakes. They know their business better than we do. So it allows them to test things like FAQs, things like that we might have not been testing in our testing phase, which you obviously should be testing thoroughly. And then from there you can publish it, push it to production on the website, and whatever you're building from there. So an example of how I did this was I was given a sort of outline by this company, physical therapy company, in their email. So I went through and kind of built out this path that they would like to take their customers on, which included their physical therapy services to either book an appointment or they had to get forms from their doctor, as well as they have also wellness services, which they have 3 from there. So I branched out and just gave more information and then allowed them to ask a question afterwards, which all of these were just giving a phone number or their contact form. And then the question section also is just pulling from their FAQs. So it's pretty simple. Don't be overwhelmed. I can show you in VoiceFlow after this, but this is the basic outline that they gave me initially. So I took that and added a more info for the physical therapy, which was an AI generated response. For the appointment, I gave them the contact forms, which I just gave them the forms and then asked for follow-up questions. And then the same for if they did not have the forms, I gave them to them and provided the information to have it faxed to the business. From here, I also mentioned a free trial, which I mentioned in my last video, how to have a reminder about that, the option to book an appointment, and then also just more information about the 3 services they offer, and then the ability to have a follow-up and book an appointment from there. Same with the questions, except it was more involved than he had initially described, which also allowed them to book an appointment after if they decided to. So jumping into VoiceFlow, how I built this out, I actually built both of these out as I had a lot of extra time, which most of this was a copy and paste from the simple to the more complex one. You can kind of see the implementation here. I mentioned the buttons with the intents to prevent people from typing into here, and then also a no match to help the conversation flow more smoothly. Here's just a bunch of links that I embedded directly in, and then some AI blocks to have the AI basically summarize whatever service that they had offered here. So jumping into the complex one, sort of the same stuff. AI block here to summarize the same intent and the no match there to catch different responses that I wasn't expecting. This is all relatively the same as the simple one, except for this part, which allows them to ask questions after they were done. The second path was again the reminder of the free trials that they had, and then they could again break up into either booking an appointment, which I did through this iframe, which an iframe just allows you to basically show the website link directly into the message bubble inside of the bot. From there they can ask a question, and same with the summarization of the service that they offer, which they could either get the summary, and then if they wanted to book an appointment straight after that, they could, or they could ask a question. So all the questions got rerouted down to here. With the question, it either answered it or it went to a not found, which gave them the contact info or access to the contact form of the page. And yeah, again, using the intents, the no match, things like that, which are all kind of routed around. The other questions are just routed all the way around back to here, and then it can sort of loop through this depending on how many questions that they have to ask, and then even go back up to book an appointment if they wanted. So for this, I actually went through and changed the paths afterwards. For example, if they went through and booked an appointment, they wouldn't be asked if they wanted to book an appointment. It would just be a question or they're done. However, if they got information about these services, they could then go to book an appointment, have it a question, or be done. So yeah, you can kind of get creative with how you want to keep routing them through, and keep in mind what path they're already on and the information that they've already selected and been given already, so you don't need to repeat. Like if they just booked an appointment, you don't want them to have the option to book another appointment. It just gets repeat appointments, and it's probably not good for the business, as they really only need one at that time. Yeah, that's pretty simple closing. Use the variance, just to keep it more personal. And yeah, simple end block at the end. It looks complicated, but if you break it down, it's all pretty simple. Just some variance, captures, AI blocks, and a lot of buttons. But yeah. So if you like one of these for your own business, or you have any questions, drop it below. If you like one for your own business, there's a link in the description. You can book a call with me, and we can see how good of a fit this might be for your own business. Yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, drop in the comments below, and yeah, have a good one.